Hello everybody, and welcome to this not too long tutorial in which I show you how we can sculpt the T-spline body for this plastic shell and then use some interesting sketching techniques to create a perfect sketch to position these wooden legs right under the shell, and then we use solid modeling tools to trim everything so we have a perfect match. Also here we will start first by bringing in some sketches from dimensions.com, and with all that said, let's do it. We can start this exercise by going to dimensions.com and take a screenshot from the side, front and the back of this EMS chair. This chair, while we do not necessarily rebuild it, however, is actually a really nice design to use it as a proportional guide, like for the backrest, the legs, the base, etc. So based on your operating system, Mac or Windows, use the correct tool to make a side, front and back screenshot. Let's go to Fusion. First thing, we go to the root, right click and turn off the design history. Then we go to document settings and set this to inches. Cool. We can now go to maybe the left view. Yep. So left view and then insert. Insert from the computer, and here is my site image. I start with this one first because this one does have actually a scale. There you can see this. After we clicked OK, right click onto the image icon for the side canvas, calibrate, and then I can select this and click there, and then this should be 31.75 inches. I can zoom out a little bit, right click, move and copy. And I will move actually this to here so that the top of the tip is on the blue axis. And then I move this one up. There we are. Cool. So now I have actually this point right over, kind of like the 0 point along the z-axis. This makes the next step quite easy. I can go insert, then I go and select, let's say, the front image. And there we are. And this will be on this plane. I can scale this up a little bit. We can flip this, move this up. And now there we see this is way too small. We can adjust the scale there a little bit. I do, however, find this is easier now when I select the front image, right click, edit canvas. And then here with this, I can visually at the same time move this up and down and scale. That nearly is it. So maybe a little bit like this. Okay, now a tick higher. So this is now on the x-axis and there it nearly touches it. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I will add now the back image. There we are on this plane. And I can scale this one up. And now here in this mode, I bring this one up there and just try to just match this as close as possible. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Also, let's make sure this is symmetrical. So this looks now, this is centered. So this was the back. And right click, edit canvas. There, this is centered. Very good. Cool. Okay, so in front view, I see the front image. So this one I will move a little bit back. And then in back view, I will see the back image. So I'll move this one a little bit forward because I will look from there. And then the side image, right click. Well, what happened? There, right click, there it is. I move this a little bit further away because I'm just always looking from these three views. Okay, very good. So now we have our two most important elements set up, front view and side view. To start now, we can go to front view, switch to form, and then go to plane. Click on this front plane, click somewhere here, and then I create just a rectangle that is as wide as the image is. This I set to 1 and 1. Okay, beautiful. Cool. Edit, modify, or here edit form, and then I select edge. I can select this edge, go to the right view, move this one to there. Then I select the next edge, there, and move this one maybe to here. And now I need to have one point there. Now here comes the trick. Hold the Alt and Option key, and then drag one more edge out to there. One more, possibly to here. One more to there. One time more. I'm still holding the Alt and Option key and click and drag to there. So every time I hold the Alt key, Option key, and then I click and drag and move, extrude basically out the piece. Okay, now it doesn't look too bad. Then we can go to the vertex mode, drag over the individual points, and adjust how everything here looks. And this feels pretty good. Okay. Not bad. So now we need to do this center dip down. Can go to the front view, click OK. We will go to modify, insert edge, double click. That double click selects basically the whole edge loop, 50%, 0.5, OK. Double click and now I delete this one. So we removed the half. And I'm going to rebuild this back via symmetry, mirror, duplicate. So this one, mirror along this yellow plane. Now because that's the mirroring plane. Cool. Okay. Now I can go ahead and maybe select this edge. Go to the side view. No, just pull this one out. Go to here. Pull this one down. Go to the point. Pull this one down. And play a little bit. In a moment, we also have to adjust the handles. There we are. So this is kind of like cool. So click and drag over everything and then click on the chain. So the handles are all now aligned with the surface. That's pretty good. Okay, that's nice. So what can else we do? Now if we turn this one off, we can see how there's a little bit of an arc. And if I turn this one off and show the back, you can see from behind this dips down even more. Okay, so right now here, this is very linear. So this edge needs to dip down a little bit. Maybe like this. Yeah. Maybe. Cool. Okay. And the other points, for example, here, they can go up a little bit. But before I do this, I will switch to edge select. Select this edge, this edge, this edge, and yeah, this is good. And now I click on this set pivot point. Now you can see how I reset this position to there. Click and say OK. And I will rotate all these edges together at once. There you see this actually really helped moving this all in. All lines are moved smoothly together. And maybe this whole thing I move in a little bit too. Cool. Okay. Now so we quite nicely gave this a taper look. This corner, and the other corners in the front are rounded. So we go uncrease edge. Click, click. And there we are. It's actually nearly a perfect match. Not too bad. Yeah, no? I think so too. Cool. Okay. So, what else can we do? From the side, yeah, this is actually maybe a little bit too aggressive. So now here, this edge, we can lift up. Then here, this point has to lift up a little bit. Maybe here, this goes up a little bit. You have to be careful how things look from the side and from the front. These drawings are not necessarily always perfect either. Cool. Okay, so we have to trust our eye too. This is all nice. We would like to stabilize the whole design. So check this out. I will select this, and then I go to U, and U, and U. So all these side edges here, not the back and the front, hold the Alt Option key and extrude just a tiny piece out. And that, in theory, should straighten the side, and then we have kind of like this dip down piece. Beautiful. Now we can do the same with the front. But only this edge I drag out. And there's something going on here right now. I will show you in a moment how to fix this. And then we do the same also here. Hold the Alt Option key, we extrude this one out. Cool. Okay. So now we have this stuff happening. So if we delete this, then everything is gone. So what we will do is we will actually clear the symmetry. Clearing means we apply it, and then I click and then right to left drag over there, and then I delete this half. Okay. And simply reapply the symmetry. There, problem fixed. Let's go to utilities and switch to box mode, and we can see a little bit of an issue we have. So this point should be merged to there. Merge. Do we have a merge command? And yes, we do. Merge edges, merge point. Let's see, this edge and this edge. Have to maybe zoom in more. Okay, there you see, it got merged. Perfect. Now we can go to point select this point and move this one out. So we kind of like have like a miter corner, if we want to call it this way. So let's do another merge. So U to U. Oops. Actually, just one edge there, this edge. Click OK, and then this point. Let's drag this one out. Also, we can see how long is this and how long are these lines. So they're really short. So double click. No, this is a loop. So shift and then left mouse button click. I just select these individual edges here and drag these out a little bit till this starts looking good. And maybe here, this point goes back to there. And this maybe a tick forward. Cool. Let's see how this will look. Nice and smooth. Yeah, it's getting somewhere. We can see in the back actually how we get this nice lip. Here in the front, we could, for example, bend this down more if we want. So let's see what this will do when we just select this edge, pull this down. And here, there, we just leave this horizontal. Yeah, because we can see now on these two edges, that's where our hip would be. And then this is more kind of like a horizontal stabilization. Yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. And insert edge. I'm just trying to see, so if we do something like this, out of curiosity, what happens when we add another tiny edge there? And then you see this actually will crease this a little bit even more, no? So just for those who are interested in this, if you want to have more detail, then we can actually add more creases to it. And if we pull this one down, let's see, looking from behind. Yeah, so it pulls this down a little bit too. This is something we can do. Doesn't actually look too bad. So let's do this also on the sides. That's a nice thing about the T-spline design or tool. It requires a little bit of practice and a little bit of manual work. But then you can sculpt actually quite intricate and interesting shapes. There, I move all this up. And this maybe a little bit back. A little bit over. A little bit there. Yeah, there we are. Pretty cool. Okay. So I would say the canvas here for the moment, that is good. And then we can go to surface and sorry, solid. No, wait. Let's get back to form. This we want to convert. See, when I'm in form command and I right click, I see convert. If I'm in solid and right click, oh, we have this convert too. Wow. Okay, so scratch the 2 seconds before. So we need to do this convert actually when we right click on it, but I think, yeah, we have it down here, convert form. And then where do we have it here? Under utilities now. So you see this command sometimes switches the position. Anyway, convert T-splines to B-rep. Thank you. And then solid and thicken. And we give this a thickness. Maybe this we can make a little bit bigger. 0.5 of an inch. Very nice. Then we can select two edges and give those a nice 0.125 fillet. Cool. Okay. It's actually pretty nice. Now here we can really see how this is round, and then this starts to look more horizontal. Pretty cool. Click, and dissolve, right click. So how do we do now the legs? I will turn on the canvas, and all we need is the side view. So we will do a little bit of an adjustment actually. Hold on. I will select you. So they're all turned on. The front and back I really don't need. And now I will go and say move copy, bodies, drag over everything. This one I would like to reposition. Maybe let's see. Let's click cancel one more time. Bodies. So we start with view. Okay. And then I select in the browser these 4 objects, and then I move one more time. I move them to the center till here this lines up on the z-axis. The main reason for that is now, look, this is centered, and we go into front view. And this is centered now, so I can draw basically a rectangle and then use these feet as the helper where everything has to be. So top view, we will create a sketch on this plane. And then now this is actually 16 by 16. So center rectangle on the center point there, and then 16, tab 16, enter. And finish. That's all we need. Because with this, we have 2 diagonal lines. That was the main trick behind it. So I would like along this line to have another sketch. So I need another construction plane. Construction plane, plane at an angle. I can select this line. And then here's a construction plane I can rotate. Should be 90 degrees. Cool. Yeah. And then on this plane, there, I'm going to create a new sketch. Cool. So keep in mind, these points is where the legs are. So actually, this we don't even need anymore. So plus minus here on the grid, that is where this thing would be. I have here the leg, we go over, we go down, we go backwards, we go to the ground, and we close it. So this first sketch I'm going to hide because it's kind of like in my way. This is now where the leg should be. Press escape. And this I want to be centered. So horizontal, vertical constraint, this point to here. This point should be horizontally on the ground. Cool. Press D for dimension, sketch dimension. This we can make 2 inches. And this one we can make 1.5 inches. Okay. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, that's so 3. Okay, good. What we can do now is, so this whole thing can be moved up. So there is actually now the lower part. Now we can ask ourselves, now, how do you want this design? Are we going to have spacers, or is this going to be a wooden shell or shape where we later cut out the space for the shell to sit in? That's what we're going to try. That's the easiest one. So this I simply move up till I see at one point starts to fit in. So D at this point to the ground. What about 14.5? That's pretty close. My case 14.25. And nearly. It's okay. We can keep it where it is right now. So when this is 1.5 inches, maybe I would like to have a line here, horizontal. Click, escape, select this line, construction line, and then D. We can make this 2 inches. Okay. Maybe 3 inches. Good. Escape, and can we move this maybe a little bit further? Yeah, so now we can specify what's the angle. From here to here, so outer point, center point, D. It gives us a interesting warning. That shouldn't really be, because you can move, so U to U, 12. Yeah, thank you. So I can overwrite this now, maybe 11.5, and pay attention to how does this line up with the original sketch. Now they were getting close. Very good. And up here we could also say, let's make this clean, 7 inches. And we also have, for example, a readout. So this is 110 in the inside. And this is 104.7. I can also delete these numbers and then only work with angles. It's up to you to decide. Anyway, that's kind of good. That's all I need. I do not need anything else. So the shell I'm going to remove. I go to Extrude. I select this, 1 inch, symmetry, 1 inch, maximum left and right together. This feels good. Okay. Now, yep, whatever. We want to create a little bit of nice details. So 1.25 for the inner rounding. Yeah. Why did I do an inner rounding? Check this out. So when I round these two outer edges by 0.25, so you see now this is rounded. And if I now go ahead and round this edge and this edge, oh, look at this, it selects everything. These were before, you can see individual edges, but when such a corner is rounded, like what happened here, it's a tangent connection. So it runs it down for me this way. Pretty cool. Okay, nice. That's actually quite good. In the next step, we kind of can think about how is this going to be joined. Maybe we'll do a simple chamfer. The tangent chain here is always turned on by default, so we will get kind of like an error message. What we have to do is turn this off, click on nothing you selected, and then we only select these two with shift vertical edges and 0.5. This creates a nice chamfer. Okay, very nice. So, next step. We need 3 more of those. We go to create circular pattern bodies. This body along kind of like this inner edge we have here. Or we can also go to origin, click on the Z axis and 4 pieces. And look at that, all line up perfectly. Cool, nice. No. Can show the shell. Yeah, this is all sticking out way too much, but that's fine because now we can do is combine and say from this one, remove this one, right click, repeat. From this one, remove this one, right click, repeat. And from this one, remove this one. Keep in mind, I always have the keep tools here turned on. And whoops, that was the wrong order. Hope, come on. And there, cool. Okay, so this body, delete, this body, delete, delete, and delete. Yeah, look at this. It nicely actually flows through it. We will do one more thing. We can now hide sketches. All this we can dissolve, right click. Yeah, this is good. Close everything. And then we can go to modify appearance and we can go to plastic. I will move this down a little bit. Can give this a white one. And then you saw I had this already open. We can go to solid wood, unfinished. And I have here 3D oak unfinished. I clicked on this download button and then we can drag this onto these legs. There. Our software is smart enough here to understand how to adjust the grain to Yeah, this looks already, for a quick concept, quite believable. So, now there we are. There we have actually this base created. We sculpted more a little bit the shape, and then via some basic geometry tricks found a diagonal line, and then on the diagonal line put the sketch for the legs, modeled and trimmed it. So easy peasy, as you can see.